to air rifle pesting. Glad you can join me today. I was at one of my permission earlier, so I had time to set up my shooting target and double check my zero at 30 yards. So as you can see here, I'm setting up a new profile for the Hades. As you can see, the grouping is not as tight as the Baracuda, but in my opinion, they are good enough to use for up to 35 yards range perhaps. So one of these days I would have to give them a try and see how they perform with the rats. Here I'm doing the Baracuda comparison, just to see that the Baracuda are a lot tighter in terms of grouping and they're more consistent and accurate in my gun. As you can see here, I was just doing some 5-shot group with the Baracuda 15 grain using my HW100. As you can see, the point of impact is slightly high, so I would need to dial a couple click down just so that I'm dead on at 30 yards zero. So they're definitely my preferred pellet to use. So the night has set and it's time to feed some rats with some lead. So I'm at the laneway and found the first customer of the night. He was at 35 yards and hit him with a headshot. And he's pretty much dead instantly. The movement you see there is just reflexes. I'm just scanning for more volunteers. I remember back in the days when I first started here, there were quite a few rats coming out of this hole. Apparently the number is rising again, as the farmer had called me to come by and do my thing. But unfortunately I didn't see that many tonight. Here's at the feeding area on the side. As you can see here, there are 3 mouse traps that the farmer has left. I guess he's been catching rats in these. And you can see these are the feeding trough. And I would imagine the rats will be underneath them to feed on this grain. But where are they? Finally, I saw one here on the right hand side, right behind the hose. So I don't really have a clear shot, but at least I know they're there now. You can see there's another one in the back. It's about 24 yards. I don't have a clear shot, so I'm just scanning around and see what happens. And I'm hoping other rats gonna pop out somewhere else. Unfortunately, they didn't. So I decided to move over to get a better angle. As you can see here, I can just see him and there are 2 rats in there. So I had him in my view. I'm just watching him patiently to see what they do. And maybe try to figure out a pattern. And this guy was busy grooming himself and he had no idea what I have in plan for him. So that's enough, and here we go. I'm gonna send a lead straight down and hit him in the head. He was rat number 2. As you can see here, there's 1 and 2 rats here. So, but they didn't come out. I think because of that rat stuck there in the hole, they're reluctant to come out. But I was hoping one of them would stick their head out. So I can only watch patiently and see what happens. So I could have squeezed off a shot here. I know I can hit it knowing the accuracy of my gun. However, I didn't want to have a dead rats in there where I cannot retrieve and it's gonna rot and smell afterwards. So anyway, this is back in the laneway. I missed my opportunity. I was too slow, but luckily there was another rat in the back. It was about 42 yards away. So I'm just scanning around. Hopefully some other rat's gonna pop out to give me an easier shot. But nothing came out, so this guy's was it. I'm using the Primos trigger stick, so it's a tripod. A great device to use for this kind of setting. However, it's still not that easy to hold still, especially when my adrenaline is running high. But I steady my shot and wait for the pause, and I squeeze off a shot, and I was able to connect him with another headshot. He was rat number 3. So my HW 122 caliber is performing really well, especially with the Baracuda 15 grain by H&N. Definitely my go-to pellets, and this is proven to be a deadly combination. So I move inside one of the barns and I spotted this guy about 20 yards. From the look of it, he doesn't look too healthy. Either he's old or he's sick. But this guy is at 20 yards and I did not have a clear shot because the cows are feeding here. So I was just scanning for other rats and hopefully I can spot something else. But unfortunately none were to be found. And this wasn't as busy as I would like it to be. But as you can see here, my Pard008, it's actually pretty good. Even recorded pretty clearly out to 100 plus yards. So the rats were still hanging out there. Doesn't look like he's gonna be in a hurry to get out. I just wait patiently and wait for my chance. Hopefully these cows will take a break from their feeding. So the other priority, safety-wise, I have to be very careful. I will not take a shot unless I'm 100% sure that the cows are saved, and then I have a good backdrop. So this guy probably is sick or poisoned or something. Either way, I'm going to tag it and send it to the La La Land. Even this cow was urging it to move along. Get out of the way so that she can feed and I can get on with my shooting. Just a little more to the opening and I would have a better shot. So I continue to scan around, but nothing. So I keep my eyes on this guy. I cock my gun, anticipating for an open shot, because I know it's going to be close. Sooner or later, these cows are going to take a break, and then there will be an opening for me. So luckily, I have a lot of patience. As I mentioned, the safety of the cow was a priority. Most of the time I had to let them go, the rats, because the shot wasn't there. So I moved to my left for a better angle so I can get away from these cows on the right hand side. And as you can see here, the cows are still in harm's way and I'm constantly checking for safety anyway. Finally, an opening. The cows took a break and this guy came out a little bit further out to the left. So I was able to squeeze one through. It wasn't a good hit as I was rushing my shot. But I figured I'd double check again to make sure there's no cow popping out and squeeze out the second shot. Right here. And he's done. So later on, one rat came out here at about 40 to 45 yards away on the left hand side. I continue to monitor the cows to make sure that they're not feeding or sticking their head out. So this is definitely my window of opportunity here. I just went for a body shot and luckily it connected and it was done. He wasn't gonna get up anytime soon. So I went back out to the laneway and I spotted this guy behind the garbage bin. Took a little bit too much time. Clearly I could have shot him in the back, but I decided not to because I wanted to do a headshot, and obviously I waited too long and he got away. Later on, I think it's the same guy, he came back out. So this time I'm ready for him and I wasn't gonna let him go off so easily. So I trust my gun and I know this gun can hit accurately and I know the distance. So I got my crosshair in and I drop him with the next shot. There was another one in the background, about 39 yards away. So you can see this rat that I just hit. His tail was spinning like a helicopter. That's pretty much an indication of a brain shot. That is completely shut down other than the muscle reflexes that's creating all the movement. So this guy would have been rat number 7 of the night. Unfortunately, I did not hold over a little bit higher. And that's my only miss shot, so I missed it low, just under the chin. So it was a lucky rat for sure, but I'm definitely going to come back and get him next time. So these are 6 rats collected. Definitely 6 rats less to reproduce. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope I see you on the next one. Cheers.